one of the painful things that I've seen a lot of esteemed colleagues, entrepreneurs that have started businesses that I've developed relationships with them, is they get to this point where the going gets tough. They run into a lot of risk. The market turns against them in some way. And I see them sell out in those moments. Things look rough, and you can see the fear that they're experiencing. And they decide, I'm going to get out. I'm going to sell. There's someone else that's willing to pay a price, any amount of money for this, and at least I'll end up with something instead of nothing. And things look really bad right now. And what I've experienced is, in those moments where the going gets tough, those are the moments where you have the opportunity to get refined by fire, get refined by that resistance. And when you choose to tuck your head down and push through those high-risk moments and periods, and a lot of times those high-risk periods come with real pain. They come with people leaving. They come with large clients leaving. There's that temptation of like, is it time to sell out? I can't tell you how many times I've had that conversation of like, should I just sell? Is this really what we signed up for? Is this really going the right direction? Are we just kidding ourselves? So there have been so many times where there's been that temptation. There was a time back in 2012 where we lost a client that represented like 50% of our business. And at that time, we had to replace, we had another smaller client that left around the same time. And so combined, it was like 55% of our revenue left within a period of 3 months. And that meant we had to replace something like $1 million in revenue, which for us was, huge. It was more than half of our business at the time. And we had to do it fast. And there was all the components of challenge and resistance we had to work through. We had to conduct a layoff during that time. That was the first time I think I had to do that. And we had to get really rowdy and gritty and like, what are we going to do? What we got to, I can't remember. I think there's a statement that comes out of Google where they say, creativity loves scarcity, right? And so it did. Like when we are in that moment of scarcity, it draws in the creativity, and we have to think differently than we've ever thought before. How are we going to bounce back? How are we going to reinvent ourselves? How are we going to become more relevant to the market in a short period of time? And out of that 2012 crucible came a whole different approach to how we offered value to the market in 2 ways. One, we created what ended up being a sister company spun off, which is Nucleus Commerce, and that has continued to grow and develop and be successful now for, I don't know, the past however many years it's been. And we also developed a different approach to how we offered the value and how we positioned ourselves in the market. And that created a huge amount of opportunity for us. And we replaced that revenue in like 4 months. It was insane. It was amazing how quickly things turned around. But there was that moment, and I just remembered it wasn't 2012, it was like end of 2013. But in that moment, it was this decision, right? Are you going to fold, cash in, and get out? Or are you going to tuck your head down and press through? And by tucking the head down, and that doesn't mean tucking the head down and just like hoping and praying. That means tucking your head down with your team and going, okay, guys, let's work together and get creative on how we're going to get through this and be stronger on the other side. That grittiness, that intentionality in the face of that kind of resistance, and that, thumbing your nose at all the fears that are asking you to let them control you, letting them decide for you, that is the stuff that makes up the difference between companies that sustainably grow and prosper and those that either get acquired and get absorbed into something else or fall away. Thanks guys for watching this video. I want to invite you to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Let's keep the conversation going with the community questions on the social media channel of your choice. And finally, for more great content like this, go to originalleadership.com.